This is my dad. He's 88 years old today. 1 year ago today, he drove my 2023 Chevy Bolt EV for the first time. And I haven't gotten it back since. In today's video, we're going to talk about his 1 year anniversary living with a Chevy Bolt EV and getting his first electric vehicle at 87 years old. Let's get into it. All right, so this is a story about how my dad, on his 87th birthday, drove the Bolt EV for the first time, liked it so much he decided he wanted to keep it. So we ended up selling his 2018 Honda Accord, and he became the full-time driver of the Bolt. Now, I was fine with this. The Bolt was an extra vehicle in my household. I daily drive my 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning. My wife's daily driver is a 2023 Rivian R1S. I bought the Bolt EV when GM was discontinuing it. They only had a couple months left of production. And I had always liked the Bolt. And for the price, with the incentives, I was like, how do I not buy one of these before they're no longer available? I think I paid like $17,000 after the federal tax credit, the New Jersey state rebate. New Jersey, at the time, electric vehicles had sales tax exemption, so there was no sales tax. I was like, how do I not get a Bolt for $17,000? So I bought it, and it was just kind of like an extra vehicle around the household, a car for me to have content with here on State of Charge. So on his 87th birthday last year, my wife and I took my parents out for his birthday dinner. And when we arrived at his house in the Bolt, I said, you know what, Dad, it's your 87th birthday. Why don't you drive an electric car for the first time? So he drove the Bolt EV to the restaurant, and he got such a kick out of it. When we came home that night, I said, you know, why don't I leave it here for a few days for you? And he was driving it around for a few days, and he started liking it even more. Now, at the time, he had a 2018 Honda Accord, and it was starting to get up there in the miles. He was starting to have some problems with it. And after a week or so, I convinced him, you know, why don't you just sell the Accord and keep the Bolt? You know, drive it as long as you want. If after a couple of months you want to buy another car, go right ahead. But you can drive the Bolt daily if you want to. And here we are a year later. He absolutely loves it. He talks about it all the time. I think he really surprised himself that he actually likes an electric car because, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, 16 years, 17 years or so with electric cars, writing about them, making videos about them, advocating about electric transportation. And he's never really warmed up to the electric vehicles, and I didn't expect him to. That age group is probably one of the last that will warm up to electric vehicles. They grew up in the car culture in the 50s and 60s, you know, the horsepower, the loud noise, the modified mufflers to make them sound even louder. So I get it. You know, he never was fully on board with electric vehicles. So to me, to see him so enthralled with the Bolt EV and enjoying driving it so much. So today is his 88th birthday, and he's had it exactly a year. He's driven the vehicle like 8,000 or 9,000 miles. So he drives a lot. It's not like he's not this old senior that just putts around and does like, 10 miles a week. No, he drives it a lot, and he really enjoys it. So I thought it would be fun to put him in the car, go for a little drive, and just ask him questions about it. I don't know what we're going to get out of this. I've never had my dad on camera. He might, not really take well to being recorded, but hey, it might be fun. So I figured let's do it and see what we get. So I'm going to go next door now. We're going to hop in the Bolt. We're going to go for a little ride, and I'm going to talk cars with Dad. State of Charge is powered by commandeered, North America's premier installer of electric vehicle charging equipment. After I've helped you decide which charger to buy, follow the link in the description of my videos and have commandeered install it. And if you do follow that link, commandeered will waive the $150 installation deposit. But this is an exclusive offer for State of Charge followers. So in order to get that offer, you must follow the link in the description of my videos. All right, so you're behind the wheel of the Bolt EV. You've driven it for a full year now, and I want to get some of your impressions of living with an electric vehicle. It's the first time you've ever had an EV. For crying out loud, I think it's the first time you ever drove one. I don't think you ever even drove any of my EVs before, did you? Before the Bolt?
No, I haven't. The Bolt's the first.
And then you didn't give it up.
So, no, I liked it.
All right, so before we get into driving and all that stuff, what do you think about the styling of the Bolt? Because some people love it, some people don't like it. They think it looks too much like a capsule. What do you think about the styling?
Well, the styling is cute. It's unique. And some people, it's probably an acquired taste. But to me, it's fine. I like the color and I like the way it looks.
I know you grew up in the 50s.
Yes.
So I know that the cars that you drove back then, which we're going to get into next, had a lot of chrome and all that. This doesn't have any of that.
No.
What do you prefer?
No, I like the car from the 50s. They have steel bumpers, chrome plated, big grills. There's no grill on this. Don't need it. But not used to it. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the styling. But one thing you mentioned about the styling, other people must find it interesting because you've told me now that at least 3 or 4 times when you were out like in a parking lot waiting for mom to come out of a store, you're her chauffeur, people come up to you and ask you about the car?
Numerous times I've had people ask me first they usually ask me if it's electric. And then I go into a spiel, whatever I know about it, I tell them. And I find it all positive. It's a very nice little car.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, I know you like it because you commandeered it and you haven't given it back yet, but that's fine. I offered. You didn't just take it.
No, it handles well.
Yeah, so let's talk about that driving dynamics. I mean, you've always been a car guy. I know you're not as much a driving enthusiast anymore as you were when you were younger.
No.
Right now, it's about getting point A to point B. But what do you think about the acceleration of an EV, like the instant torque?
The acceleration is remarkable. It's very, very good. Yeah. I really get a kick out of it. Some of my ICE cars were pretty fast too, but this is remarkable for a little car.
Yeah, I would venture to think that even though the cars felt fast to you back then, this little Bolt would beat any of them.
Probably would.
Drag race.
It probably would.
Even though you thought you were going so fast back then,
I thought the 0 to 60 of this thing is in the 7s and the low 7s, and some of my ICE cars were in the low 7s too, but this is remarkable. Yeah. And this has instant torque no matter when you give it the gas, when you give it the electric.
Yeah. And what about the steering? It's front wheel drive.
The steering is fine. Most of my last 3 or 4 cars were front wheel drive. I'm used to the torque steer. I'm used to the front wheel drive, and this handles very well.
It does. It's very nimble.
It's very nimble. It steers good. It's very good.
Yeah, I like I have the Equinox EV, and it's a fine car. But even Meredith, my wife, preferred driving this. She said she loved how nimble it was and how you could just dart in and out of traffic and how easy it was to park.
It's small and it handles well for a little guy. It's doing very good. I like it.
Yeah. Well, now let's talk about one of the biggest differences in this than any other car you've ever owned. Well, there's 2 big differences: refueling and braking. What about the regenerative braking? Did that take you a while to get used to? I noticed you do have 1 pedal on.
Yes, I usually do regenerative braking most of the time, and I'm used to it.
Do you use the physical brake much?
Very, very rarely. Yeah. You'll see no brake dust on my front wheels with driving this car.
Yeah,
because I don't use it often.
And you drive it nice and easy. I noticed watching that you almost never use the brake pedals, but there is one time when you do, which I found interesting. Well, talk about that.
Well, when I disconnect the 1 pedal driver when I go into parking lots, and I find that without the regenerative braking, it's a lot easier to pull into a parking space and to navigate in these large parking lots with a lot of cars around.
Yeah, it still has regen when you turn that off. It's just much more mild.
Much more mild.
So it's easier for you.
Yes.
And then you turn it back on when you get out.
Yes, I still got the pedal on the wheel too if I need it.
Yeah, the hand paddle.
The hand paddle.
Do you use that? I've never seen you use that.
Once in a great while.
Yeah. Okay.
Once in a great while.
Okay. Interesting. So, all right. As I mentioned earlier, growing up, I heard all these stories about you and your cars. So maybe I think it might be interesting to tell the viewers, like, what are some of the cars that you've owned back then?
Well, I had a 41 Plymouth. Yeah. That was like my first car. After the 41, I had a 49 Plymouth. It was a 6-cylinder flathead, standard shift, both of them.
Yeah.
Then after that, I had the 53 Oldsmobile, which was one of my best cars I've ever had. Had the rocket engine in, and the early 50s, they were the car to beat. They were very good.
Yeah.
That and the Hudson Hornet. But the Oldsmobile was an excellent car. I had a 55 holes.
Uh-huh.
I had a 56 holes.
Uh-huh.
I went in the Army, and I come out of the Army, I had a 49 Ford six-cylinder.
Okay.
And after that, I had a 63 holes F85 small V8. Very peppy, very nice car. And after that, I think I was all the way to 1973. I bought a brand new Rolls Royale 88.
And I remember that.
Yes.
Now I'm 5 years old.
Yes.
And the big long
Delta
boat. 88, right?
Yes. And after that,
But before we go further, what happened to that car?
that car was waiting for a light, and somebody
You were
was
going
up,
to work in the
going
morning.
to work in the morning, waiting for a light, and somebody piled into the back of me. He was out all drinking all night, I guess.
Yeah.
And he totaled the thing.
And our other car at the time was a Pinto. If he had taken the Pinto to work that day, he wouldn't be here today.
I would have been dead.
Because
yes.
this car hit him going like 50, 60 miles an
He
hour.
never put
and
his brake on.
And he was stopped at a red light. The guy was drunk. He couldn't even talk. The Delta 88, which was like 20 feet long,
Yeah.
went after the accident. The trunk was in the passenger compartment. It was very lucky
In fact,
that you were there.
I bent the steering wheel in half from the
hitting it.
collision from bang, because I seen the rear view mirror. He wasn't going to stop. I hung on a wheel all my life and braced myself for the collision, and I survived it.
And the best thing is the police come, make a police report and everything.
Yeah.
And he walked to work.
I went to work though. I was
That
only,
day,
only
right
a couple
after.
blocks away from work,
Times are a little different.
and away we went.
So, you must like the Bolt, because I noticed you put between 8,000 and 9,000 miles on it in the 1 year that you've driven it. So you're not just like this old senior citizen guy that putts around. You actually drive
No.
places.
I go a lot of places with it. I take my wife shopping every day. We got to get out of the house, and we go someplace with it. I used to take long trips down to the Jersey Shore, but I don't do that anymore. I'm a little old for that.
Yeah.
But I put 30, 40, 50, 40 miles a day on it sometimes.
Do you have range anxiety? Or people talk about range anxiety.
Oh, I never have range anxiety. I have a charger in the garage, and every 3 or 4 days, when it gets around 100 miles, I'll plug it in again and charge it up.
Yeah.
Summertime, I'm good for like 255 to 260. That's an 80% charge.
Miles.
At miles, right.
Yeah.
And at 100% charge, I actually got 300 on it.
Yeah, and but we almost never charge 100%, only if we know you're going to go somewhere far.
Right.
And once in a while, I like to charge it to 100% every 5 or 6 months, just to exercise the cells.
Yeah.
But talk about the reason why you go so far is because you don't drive it too hard anymore. Talk about your efficiency. One thing that I found interesting, once I explained miles per kilowatt hour to my dad, and the Volt displays what your miles per kilowatt hour, as most EVs, it's almost like he plays a game to try to get it higher. And what are you averaging?
I'm looking at right now 4.9.
Yeah.
And
over the last 2,000
in the
miles.
last 2,000 miles. In the wintertime, man, it's probably about 3.8, 3.9 in that area, 3.7.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, it's less.
Yeah, which, I remember last winter as it was coming, you were not happy that your average was going down.
Yes.
And he was complaining to me like, yeah, I used to be by 5, now I'm down to 4.5, it's getting lower, I don't like this.
Yeah, it went lower and lower and lower as the weather got colder and colder.
Yeah, well, it wasn't your driving, it was that's normal with
I didn't know
electric
that.
vehicles. Yeah, well,
I didn't know that.
But still, it never, the range didn't shorten up so much that you were concerned about it.
No, not really, not really. It went from like 255, 260 down to a little over 200, 210.
And you rarely drive more than 100 miles in a day
right.
anymore.
And
so.
and that's only at an 80% charge.
Yeah. So, it was, the range isn't really a
Right.
problem. What about charging? Now, I put in that Tesla universal wall connector when I fixed up the house, thinking that maybe one day I can get you into an EV. I really didn't have all these plans, but how about charging? How do you find home charging?
Oh, the charger is a piece of cake. You just pull in the garage and charge in. Put the charger in and away you go.
And then it's done.
And then it's done.
Yeah, I remember you were one of those people that always waited online at Costco. You always had to get Costco gas.
Always got Costco gas for my car because it was tier 3 gas. It's supposed to have most additives in it.
Yeah, and it was also
It was the cheapest too.
the cheapest, so you can't leave that out. But we'll turn right up here. You were one of those guys that waited on the lines all
I
the
always
time.
went online, right?
So now, how do you find that you don't have to go anywhere? Like, you were also one of those guys that religiously changed your oil at I
would say 3,000-4,000 miles.
3,000 or 4,000 miles religiously. I remember growing up when I got my first car, you always instilled in me, change your oil. Back then we did our own oil changes. Not many people do that anymore, but every 3,000 or 4,000 miles, you were at the Honda dealership because you had the Accord. And now you don't have to go anywhere for any type of service.
No.
Or you don't have to wait at Costco. You still go to Costco, but you don't wait online there anymore. How about the fact that with EVs, you don't have to go anywhere? Like everything, you just do at home. There's no maintenance.
As far as I can tell with this, the only thing you have to do is have the tires rotated. Yeah. That's about it.
And you might need wiper blades on occasion, but you might not have. You don't drive in the rain anymore.
Not me. I don't go in the rain much anymore. And the car's out of the sun. It's in the garage all the time. And the sun is what eats up the rubber on the blades.
Yeah. So you might not even need those. And the way you drive, we'll go to the next light and turn right.
Yeah.
The way you drive, you'd never need brake pads. You'd get 200,000 miles on your brake pads.
I get a kick out of the front wheels. Has no black brake dust on it.
Yeah. Never. Yeah.
Never have. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's that's one of the great things that I found about electric cars. I've been driving. Your turn right up here. I've been driving them for 13, 14 years. No, actually, 15 years now. 16 years. It's 2025. My God, 16 years I've been driving EVs. I've owned 12 different EVs, and the brake. I've never had to change a set of brake pads.
You wouldn't.
With the regenerative braking, if you drive it properly, you still could if you're, accelerate, brake. Some people don't drive properly, but you're nice and easy, and you let the regen do almost everything.
I would never have to change the brake pads. Even with the ICE cars, I was good for 65, 70,000 miles before I need brakes.
Yeah.
With this car, I would never need it.
Yeah, you'd never need it.
I would never need it, no.
Well, so, before we wrap things up, overall experience with the car, are you... is it about what you expected? Is it better than what you expected? Are you happy that we got you out of the Accord and put you in this?
I'm very happy with it. It's remarkable. The little guy, handles well. It's extremely fast and very peppy, and it's easy charging. Like I said, it charges in the garage, and away I go.
And away you go.
I have no range anxiety whatsoever with this thing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, listen, thank you for agreeing to do this. This is your first YouTube video. You might be a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, maybe I will be.
Yeah. Channel. My buddy Kyle's dad, Dave, has his own channel, Out of Spec Dave. So you might have to be State of Charge Tom Senior, I guess, because we have the same name. So we couldn't just say State of Charge Tom. Maybe we'll set you up with your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Maybe.
Listen, Dad, thank you very much for coming on and doing this. I'm sure people are going to find it interesting that you get your first EV on your 87th birthday. This is your 1 year anniversary. Have a great birthday today. And, hopefully we'll do a 2-year review once you've had it for 2 years on your 89th birthday. What do you think?
Why not? Let's try it. Away we go.
So I guess we learned today that it's never too late to get your first electric vehicle. At 87 years old, he drove an EV for the first time, and a year later now, he loves it. He really loves the fact that he can charge at home and he doesn't have to wait online at gas stations, and the fact that he doesn't have to go to the dealership to get his oil changed. And like we talked about in the video, he was religious about that. Every 3,000 or 4,000 miles, he was at the Honda dealership sitting there. And as you get older, it becomes more cumbersome, even doing simple tasks like that and even getting gas. So I think this is one of the things that makes electric vehicles more attractive for older people, is that there's really no nonsense. As long as you can charge it at home, that's really all you have to worry about. There's little to no maintenance on the cars. And that's every trip to the dealership was kind of a pain and something that, he had to mark on his calendar and get it out of the way. So he doesn't have to do that anymore. And that's, when you get older, taking things off your list makes a lot of sense. And driving an EV makes a lot of sense for older people, particularly because they tend to not go as far as they used to when they were younger. My dad used to go all over the place. Now, the Bolt has 250, 260 mile range. He's never doing that in a day. So for the refueling, the maintenance, the range, it all fits perfectly into his lifestyle. And I'm glad that we got him into the Bolt EV. And one thing that he doesn't know is tonight I have a surprise party planned for him at a local restaurant. So we're gonna have some fun later on, celebrate his birthday, and who knows, maybe you'll see him on State of Charge in another year when we talk about his 2-year anniversary with the Bolt EV. Well, listen, if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews, and every now and then a little peek into my personal life And as always, thanks for watching.